Welcome to Ravenswood, an eerie town shrouded in mystery and whispered legends. Nestled snugly between ancient woods where shadows dance an eternal waltz and mist-laden hills that whisper secrets to the wind, Ravenswood is a place where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. The air here is heavy with tales untold, and the silence is broken only by the rustling leaves and the occasional hoot of an owl. The crown jewel of Ravenswood's enigma is the Loom mansion. A grand testament to forgotten opulence, it stands desolate and forlorn, its once vibrant halls now echoing with a chilling silence. Its once manicured gardens have turned into a wild jungle, and its once polished facade is now marred by the relentless march of time. Its imposing silhouette against the moonlit sky is a sight that has inspired many a tale around the fireside. The mansion is said to have belonged to the Loom family, a name that carries an ominous weight in Ravenswood. They were a family of affluence and influence, their lineage dating back to the town's founding. But as the story goes, one day they simply vanished without a trace. No farewell letters, no signs of struggle, no leads. The Looms were gone, leaving behind a mansion echoing with their absence. The townsfolk, superstitious and fearful, dared not venture near the mansion. They spoke of it in hushed whispers, as though the very mention of it would summon something unspeakable. Rumors spread like wildfire, each more chilling than the last. Some spoke of ghostly apparitions in the mansion's windows, others of a haunting melody that echoed through its halls. The mansion, once a symbol of grandeur, was now a monument to a haunting mystery. The Loom mansion now stands abandoned, a chilling monument to the Loom family's unsolved mystery. It is a constant reminder that in Ravenswood, the boundary between the living and the dead is as thin as the evening mist, and that some secrets are better left buried in the past. One moonless night, a band of curious teenagers dared to challenge the town's whispered fears. With a spirit of adventure, they set out to unravel the mansion's secrets. Each of them, armed with nothing more than flashlights and the courage of youth, were determined to face whatever awaited them in the mansion's decaying halls. Their laughter, a mix of excitement and apprehension, echoed through the empty streets of Ravenswood as they made their way to the mansion. The creaking gates of the mansion loomed before them, a foreboding entry into a world untouched by time. Despite the chill that ran down their spines, they pressed on, their curiosity overpowering their fear. Each step they took seemed to stir the mansion from its slumber, the old wooden floors groaning in protest under their weight. As they crossed the threshold, the mansion seemed to come alive, its halls echoing with a past long forgotten. Suddenly, a chilling melody echoed through the mansion, freezing the teenagers in their tracks. A spectral piano, untouched by mortal hands, played a mournful tune that resonated through the decaying halls. The rhythm was haunting, like a lullaby from a forgotten era, laden with sorrow and unspoken tales. It was as if the mansion itself was weeping, each note a tear shed for the lost Loom family. The teenagers stood rooted to the spot, their hearts pounding in their chests. The laughter and bravado that had fueled their adventure was now replaced with a chilling sense of dread. The air grew colder, so cold that they could see their breath misting before them. Shadows seemed to dance in the corners of the room, performing a macabre ballet to the spectral sonata. The melody swelled, filling the mansion with its haunting resonance. The music was a language of its own, a language of despair and longing. It painted a picture of grand balls and elegant waltzes, of laughter and joy, all snuffed out in an instant. The mansion was not merely a building, it was a tomb, a memorial to a family lost to time. The group's bravado crumbled as the magnitude of their intrusion sank in. This was no ordinary abandoned house. It was a monument to a tragic past, still echoing with the ghostly remnants of its former inhabitants. The mansion was alive, and it mourned its loss with a haunting melody. The melody grew louder, more insistent. It was not just a song, it was a cry, a plea, a warning. The group was not alone. They were trespassers, intruders in a place where they did not belong. Their laughter and curiosity had disturbed something that had remained undisturbed for decades. As the music intensified, the group felt an otherworldly presence, a spectral audience to their intrusion. The mansion was no longer empty. The air grew colder, the shadows darker. They were no longer alone. The haunting melody was a prelude, a chilling overture to the spectral waltz that awaited them. In the heart of the mansion, they stumbled upon a forgotten ballroom, the epicenter of the mansion's spectral activity. The room was a grand spectacle of bygone opulence, with dusty chandeliers and decaying elegance. A piano, standing majestically at one end, played an eerie tune all by itself, the keys moving with a grace that was almost spectral. The air was heavy with an otherworldly presence, a silent audience witnessing their intrusion into this forgotten world. As the haunting melody permeated the room, the group felt a chill run down their spines. The shadows seemed to dance and the air grew colder, as if the room itself was alive, breathing and reacting to their presence. Without warning, ghostly apparitions began to materialize, phantoms with hollow eyes and sorrowful expressions. They were the Van der Loom family, trapped in a timeless dance of despair. Their spectral figures glowed with an ethereal light, casting an eerie glow on the room. The teenagers froze, their hearts pounding in their chests, their breaths hitching in their throats. Suddenly, the apparitions began to move in rhythm with the haunting melody, their spectral bodies swaying in a dance that was both beautiful and terrifying. They were performing a spectral waltz, a dance of the dead, their hollow eyes watching the intruders. The teenagers, paralyzed with fear, could only watch as the ghostly figures moved with a grace that was both mesmerizing and horrifying. The spectral waltz intensified, the ghostly figures beckoning the terrified teenagers to join them in their dance. Panic turned into sheer terror as they found themselves being drawn into the dance, their bodies moving against their will. Their desperate screams echoed through the mansion, blending with the haunting melody of the phantom piano. Caught in the spectral waltz, the teenagers had become unwilling participants in the mansion's tragic history. The dance of the dead continued, the haunting melody echoing through the mansion's halls, a chilling reminder of the Van der Loom family's eternal despair. As dawn broke over Ravenswood, an eerie silence fell over the Van der Loom mansion. The first light of day, usually a symbol of hope and renewal, held no such promise in the small town. Instead, it cast long spectral shadows that danced across the mansion's decaying facade and seemed to breathe new life into its ancient ghost stories. The mansion, once teeming with the nervous laughter and youthful energy of the teenagers, was now as desolate as a graveyard. The only sound was the echo of the wind whistling through the broken windows and the whisper of leaves rustling in the nearby woods. The teenagers who had dared to venture into the mansion the previous night were nowhere to be found. The flashlights they had carried lay abandoned in the dust, their owners vanished as if swallowed by the mansion itself. The once curious group was lost, their laughter silenced, their bravery punished by the mansion's spectral inhabitants. Yet, the mansion seemed to hum with a haunting afterglow. The spectral waltz had ended, the apparitions had vanished, but the chilling melody of the ghostly piano lingered. It echoed through the decaying halls, a mournful song that told a tale of sorrow and despair. It was as if the mansion itself was mourning the loss of the young lives that had been lured into its tragic history. The legend of the Van der Loom mansion and the tale of the missing teenagers spread like wildfire through the town of Ravenswood. It served as a chilling reminder of the mansion's haunted past, a tale that parents told their children to keep them away from the ominous building. The mansion stood, a silent sentinel, its secrets locked away behind its crumbling walls, its ghostly inhabitants forever trapped in their spectral waltz. And so, the dawn of despair settled on the town of Ravenswood, the sun casting long shadows on the abandoned mansion. The legend of the Van der Loom mansion lives on, a chilling reminder of the night when curiosity led a group of teenagers into the realm of the supernatural.